Danielle Redlick was born in Florida in 1976. She was a 46-year-old working woman and a mother of two. She pursued education at Baldwin Wallace University, studying psychology. Danielle's mother, Caitlin Aquino, remarried a man named Michael Redlick, but the marriage lasted only 2 years before she passed away from a long battle with breast cancer. Michael's insurance ensured she received top-tier care, which was why they formalized their marriage. Sadly, the treatment couldn't save her. After his wife's death, Michael became a widower and took on the role of father to Caitlin's children. Struggling to raise them on his own, he turned to Caitlin's eldest daughter, Danielle, for help. At 22, Danielle was living on her own but decided to return and support him. She cared for the younger children while working part-time at a bar in the evenings. Meanwhile, Michael focused on advancing his career in professional sports, particularly in player recruitment. He grew deeply attached to the children, who he began to see as his own. During this time, Danielle and Michael formed a close bond. Initially platonic, their relationship grew into a romantic one, despite their 20-year age difference. Danielle was hesitant to make their relationship public and kept it a secret from her family for a while. Michael even helped Danielle secure a job in advertising, and his high income allowed them to live comfortably. Later, Michael received an enticing offer to become vice president of corporate sales for the Memphis Grizzlies, which required relocating. He asked Danielle to join him, but she hesitated, not wanting to disrupt her life or studies. Despite this, they maintained a long-distance relationship with frequent visits. One day, he showed her a house he bought for them by the Mississippi. Impressed, Danielle eventually decided to move in with him. To help her transition, he secured a job for her in the radio industry. However, Michael's new job brought stress, which affected his health, work, and family life. To cope, he began drinking regularly, often coming home late and angry, causing tension at home. Despite Danielle's support, things didn't improve. One evening, after missing a dinner they had planned, Danielle expressed her frustration. A poorly timed joke led to Michael slapping her. The slap was so forceful that she staggered back. Michael, clearly distressed, quickly tried to make amends. He took Danielle to a sports doctor, who treated her injuries and recommended further care from a dentist and plastic surgeon, as her injuries were severe, including a chipped tooth. The next day, Michael arranged a thoughtful dinner, and Danielle forgave him, choosing not to report the incident due to sympathy and the strict domestic violence laws in the state. This wasn't the first time Michael had shown troubling behavior. While living in Cleveland, he became jealous when Danielle chatted with her ex at a concert. On the way home, he made sarcastic remarks, which led to him hitting her. He quickly apologized, claiming it was because she hurt his feelings. Danielle forgave him, blaming herself, and the incident was eventually forgotten. In 2003, they had their first child, a daughter named Jaden, and a year later, they legalized their relationship. Things were going well, but Michael faced work challenges, unable to get the promotion he desired. 7 years later, they had a son named Sawyer and were fully engaged in raising their children. However, Michael's job stress led him to start drinking again, resulting in more frequent conflicts. One violent argument escalated when he grabbed Danielle by the throat and pinned her against the wall. Unable to tolerate this, Danielle left with the children and stayed with relatives. Michael apologized and eventually convinced her to return. Over the following years, the family moved several times. At a point, both he and Danielle faced unemployment, relying on savings. In 2014, they moved to Indiana, where Michael went ahead first to find a new home. Danielle stayed in California with the children, and the relocation process took a year. While their financial situation improved, their relationship suffered. The distance and lack of communication led to growing emotional distance. When they finally reunited, new challenges arose. Danielle suspected her husband of infidelity when he became distant and cold. Michael eventually confessed that his age and health were affecting their relationship, but he had been too embarrassed to mention it earlier. Danielle appreciated his honesty and continued to support him. After trying various treatments, they decided on testosterone injections, which helped Michael regain his energy but also increased his aggression. One morning, after an argument, Michael struck Danielle on the head when she didn't wake him up. When she tried to leave, he became enraged and choked her until she nearly lost consciousness. He apologized afterward, but Danielle quietly crawled away. However, they stayed together for the sake of their children. Danielle, though dissatisfied, continued to love him, but she became increasingly anxious and withdrawn. The family maintained a respectable appearance, with most issues staying behind closed doors. By late 2014, they settled in Florida, where Michael shifted careers to become the director of external affairs at the University of Central Florida. The job, though lower paying than his NBA career, brought him stability and satisfaction. After renting for a year, they bought a home in Winter Park. While the house was impressive, Danielle often retreated to the attic, especially when Michael's anger flared. Though testosterone injections revived their intimacy, their relationship remained strained. As tensions grew, Danielle developed an alcohol dependency, withdrawing as Michael continued working. Their relationship became increasingly unstable, leading to their separation in 2016. Despite this, Michael remained involved with the children and supported them financially. Danielle found work at a school, and new friends helped her regain independence, though she continued seeing Michael, who came and went freely. After another argument, Danielle ended up in the hospital with a concussion but kept silent, fearing the consequences for her husband. However, she later revealed that in October 2016, Michael had tried to run her over with his car, only for her to escape into the bushes. She had gone to the police but then changed her mind and left, as she always did. The couple reconciled and moved back in together, a decision that would prove to be crucial. On January 12, 2019, Danielle called 911, claiming her husband, Michael, had died from a heart attack. When paramedics arrived, they found a strong smell of cleaning agent and a bucket of pink water. In the living room, they discovered Michael's lifeless body in a pool of blood, with a fatal knife wound, not a heart attack. Danielle was found with cuts on her wrists and was taken to the hospital for treatment. The police then began their investigation. When police arrived, it was clear Michael Redlick had been murdered. Forensic analysis confirmed the blood traces in the home belonged to him, and the pink liquid in the bucket was diluted blood, suggesting an attempt to clean up a trail from the bedroom to the living room where his body had been dragged. Blood spatter was found on the walls, and a large knife was found near the kitchen. Later, Danielle was questioned. Her statements were inconsistent. She initially claimed Michael died of heart disease, then suggested he had taken his own life after an argument. Experts refuted her claims, as the wound was not self-inflicted. The autopsy confirmed Michael died from blood loss and could have been saved if reported timely to the emergency services, and toxicology tests revealed high levels of alcohol in his system. The investigation revealed that a few days before the incident, Danielle and Michael had an argument, witnessed by their daughter, Jaden. Michael, who had been drinking, entered the bathroom where Danielle was hiding, but Jaden intervened and took the bottle from him. Afterward, Danielle left the house, returning only after Michael had fallen asleep. Jaden said it was the first time she saw her father act with such anger, although he later apologized, and she believed her mother was the source of the conflict. Additionally, Jaden also testified that Michael was an excellent father who supported her and her brother, Sawyer, in pursuing sports careers. Jaden felt close to her father, but saw her mother as manipulative and the source of family conflicts. She believed Michael tried to keep peace in the home. The couple reconciled once again, and Michael invited the family to a soccer game. However, Danielle seemed upset and distant. Later, after dropping the children off at a friend's house, the couple spent time alone. Danielle returned home around 10:30 p.m. after stopping at McDonald's and found Michael intoxicated. During dinner, Michael noticed a message on Danielle's phone from an unknown man, which led to an argument. Michael bit off a piece of his hamburger and spat it at Danielle. Enraged, he lunged at her, attempting to strangle her. In a desperate act of self-defense, Danielle grabbed the nearest object, a knife, and plunged it into his chest. Michael collapsed, bleeding heavily. Danielle claimed that she immediately tried to call emergency services but accidentally dialed the wrong number. This detail was later confirmed during the investigation. In a state of shock and exhaustion, she lay down beside Michael and fell asleep until morning. This was her explanation for the 11 hours of inactivity that followed the incident. Danielle explained to the prosecution that she lied during the emergency call because she was afraid no one would believe she acted in self-defense. Her apprehension was rooted in past experiences. Not long before the incident, she had been involved in a physical altercation with friends. When the police arrived, she resisted arrest and even attempted to bite one of the officers. This led to charges of disorderly conduct and resisting arrest, resulting in a year of probation. Investigators also found that Danielle had joined a dating site after discovering Michael's affairs. Though she communicated with others, she still had feelings for her husband. She was hurt by his betrayal and found it difficult to accept that he planned to leave her. The prosecution argued that Danielle's actions were premeditated, driven by her anger over Michael's infidelity and their impending divorce. Neighbors confirmed the couple often argued loudly, sometimes turning physical. While Michael was described as kind and helpful, Danielle was seen as argumentative. Video evidence showed Danielle acting irrationally and attacking her husband. Friends and Michael's brother supported this view, with one recalling joking about her being crazy, adding that things would be fine as long as steak knives were kept out of reach. Danielle's lawyer argued she acted in self-defense, citing a history of emotional and physical abuse from Michael. Relatives confirmed the abuse, though it was never witnessed firsthand. They also noted Danielle became nervous and quick-tempered over the years. The prosecution emphasized that Danielle's actions suggested premeditation, pointing to her dating app activity the night of the incident and her delay in seeking help for Michael. They also suggested she might have acted for financial gain, as she stood to benefit from their divorce. Danielle's conflicting statements and possible evidence tampering were also highlighted. Despite a plea deal offering a reduced sentence, Danielle rejected it, insisting on her innocence. On July 17, 2022, the jury found her not guilty of premeditated murder, but guilty of tampering with evidence. She was sentenced to 5 years and was released on August 5, 2022. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for more true crime content. See you next time.